Kevin O'Connell and Brian Flores have been dominating the NFL throughout the first 2 weeks. What's going on, guys? Welcome in the Vikings Now by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Siepman. Coming up on today's show, I wanted to show some love to the offensive and defensive play caller for our Minnesota Vikings, as if I had to pick the biggest reason why the Minnesota Vikes are 2-0, it's got to be because of these two right here. But before we dive into that, if you guys want to show the Vikings coaching staff some love, hit that thumbs up icon, like today's video. I put the goal as 1,000 likes. I think you guys should be able to crush that out of the park. Hit that like button. Just show some love to, two guys that us Vikings fans know how important and know how impactful they are to this football team. But the national media, the big-time NFL analysts, I don't think they show enough love and support for these two guys. So hit that thumbs up icon if you love the Vikes coaching staff. So coming up here first on today's show, Kevin O'Connell. Why has he been so successful offensively for the Minnesota Vikings this season? That's what we're going to talk about, as I really do believe the biggest reason why Sam Darnold and this Vikings offense has been successful this season is obviously number 14 has been playing a ton of good football. But the reason he's been playing a lot of good football, the reason it's looked easy for him, is because of the man, Kevin O'Connell. Now, Sam Darnold is off to a great start throughout the first two games. His completion percentage, 72, highest of his NFL career. Fantastic. Yards, 476. 4 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. I'd probably chalk up one of those picks in the Week 1 matchup versus the Giants. Not necessarily his fault. Quarterback rating, though, 111.8. And the offensive success, the expectations will all come down to 14. And if you have Kevin O'Connell dialing up beautiful plays for Sam Darnold, I think this offense is going to be successful throughout the whole year. But I got a couple plays I want to dive into. And the first one here is the Jalen Nailor touchdown yesterday. I thought this was one of the best play designs and play calls that I have ever seen from Kevin O'Connell. The play before this, the Vikings had an interception. Blake Cashman flew across the football field, tipped it up in there, bounced off Metellus' hands, then bounced off Bynum, then bounced right back into Metellus' lap, and the Vikings were able to get the ball at the 10-yard line. And this is how the play started. So if you guys see Jalen Nailor, he is tucked inside right here next to Johnny Munt. He is between the tight end and the right tackle. And then the next screenshot here, Jalen Nailor, he comes up acting like he is blocking a linebacker, and the Vikings went heavy play action. You were able to get the Niners linebackers and safeties to step up, try to take away that run, and then immediately Jalen Nailor went straight to the corner of the end zone. And look at how much space Jalen Nailor has between the next Niners defender right there. It was a beautiful play call, and I loved how following the turnover, Kevin O'Connell stayed aggressive. He said, I'm taking a chance. Vikings are up 13-7. I want to go get 6, and I'm not settling for 3. And this was a play call that did just that. But my takeaway from watching Sam Darnold throughout the first two games, Kevin O'Connell, I think, gives Sam Darnold answers on every single play. And I think this speaks to just the process and the day-to-day and every single practice that Sam Darnold has. Every time he gets the play call, I guarantee you Sam in his head, he's like, all right, Kevin told me this week at practice, for this play, I'm looking here. That's not there. I'm taking off. That's why he looks so comfortable. He looks like he has the answers to a test before even taking it. And that is all on the head coach. And I actually have this interesting stat right here on quarterback records throughout the first 2 weeks. Listen to this. It is Sam Darnold, Derek Carr, Baker Mayfield, Geno Smith, and Justin Fields. What's the record after the first 2 weeks? 10-0. Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Matthew Stafford, and Trevor Lawrence. What is their record over the first 2 weeks? 0-8. The support system and the play caller matter so much. And that's why even the advanced stats for Darnold are fantastic. Big-time throw percentage. He's had 4 big-time throws so far this season. So that equals out to 7.7% of his throws are big-time throws. His average depth of target, 8.8, about middle of the pack, but he's still taking his chances downfield. We saw it with the 97-yard touchdown. He just absolutely unleashed that football. His adjusted completion percentage, actually one of the highest in the league, 79.2. Turnover-worthy throws, 1.7. There's only been one of them so far this season. And for a guy like Sam Darnold, who has had turnover issues in the past, the fact that Kevin O'Connell has this number down at 1.7 gives all the credit to him. And actually, little chat stats for you guys. In the game versus the Niners, Sam Darnold, on all of his dropbacks, was only pressured 9 times. If you went and watched that Chicago Bears-Houston Texans game yesterday, the Bears, they let pressure all in the face of Caleb Williams all game long. Kevin O'Connell is not putting his quarterback in that position, and that's why he's been extremely successful. He's had clean pockets. He's been able to step in the throws, and even when he has pressure in his face, he's not getting gunshot. He's not scared. He steps into it, and he lets it rip. And this is also without TJ Hawkinson and Jordan Addison. And my favorite drive of the Vikings season so far came in the last offensive drive of the game before they ended up kneeing it out. Game on the line. It was 3rd and 8. No Justin Jefferson, no Jordan Addison, or TJ Hawkinson. Sam Darnold delivers a seed to the seam route to Jalen Nailor, put it on his back shoulder, and Garrett Bradbury Blake Brandell on that play actually got beat. He had pressure in his face, but that's without his top 3 weapons in the pass catching department. Darnold was great. And the Vikings offense this year, they're starting to rank out pretty highly. And this is going up against a Giants defense that obviously is not fantastic, but I think it is around top 20 in the league. Niners defense, they're top 5, and yards per game, 11th. Passing yards per game, 8th. Rushing yards per game, they're 14th, over 128 yards per game. Points per game, 25.5, that's 8th. And on third downs, Vikings are extremely, extremely successful at 7th. But I also want to highlight 2 plays from last week's game. This was a beautiful play design and play call from O'Connell. 4th and 2, 7 minutes left in the second quarter. They go orbit motion to Aaron Jones, so it floods out the entire side. And then you see Justin Jefferson at the bottom of your screen. Look at all that space around him. He just said, 18, you go beat a second-year corner in Deonte Banks, and we're scoring a touchdown. That's exactly what he did. But even in the second half, this other play, this was a beautiful play design to Jalen Nailor. And Jalen Nailor should probably thank Kevin O'Connell for his 2 touchdowns this season. But they motioned Jefferson in the backfield, went orbit motion to him, faked the wide receiver screen, and Jalen Nailor was able to get that corner of the bite, and then he went to the back pylon, and it was another wide open touchdown. This is all play design. This is all about the play call, and Kevin O'Connell has been on a heater so far this season. So you guys let me know. What say you? Kevin O'Connell is the blank best coach in the NFL. If I had to put it right now, he is undisputed top 10. I think he's going to make an argument for top 5. But if I had my coach of the year vote right now, and I had the ability to vote, I'm giving it to Kevin O'Connell, and frankly, I don't really think it's close. But we'll get to more around Brian Flores here in a second. But first off, got to tell you guys about today's presenting sponsor, and that is Game Time. If you guys are looking to buy a ticket to any event here in the near future, Game Time is the best way to do so. And when you download the Game Time app, create an account and use code ChatSports. We'll hook you guys up with $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It's game time. Now, Game Time also has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. One of my favorite features of the Game Time app is the seat views feature, where you get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you even buy the ticket to whatever event it may be. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code ChatSports for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It's game time. I'll have this link for you guys in the comments and description of today's show. So we just showed all types of love to Kevin O'Connell, but we got to show some love to, in my opinion, the best defensive coordinator in the National Football League, Brian Flores. Now, Brock Purdy, after the game, when he was shaking hands with the Vikings team and the Vikings coaching staff, he came up to Brian Flores, and all he had to say, good game, your scheme is crazy. And Brock Purdy, you are 100% right. This dude is a madman. Brian Flores was in his bag yesterday. And I just got 2 photos to quickly show you guys of just the MO. What is the bread and butter of the Brian Flores defense? This is on a 3rd and 5 in the second quarter. You see here, Vikings got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys lined up on the line of scrimmage. Brock Purdy's seeing this, and knowing what Brian Flores likes to do, he's probably assuming at least 5 or 6 guys are coming and probably one's dropping off. But just a second later, we saw Josh Metellus, Blake Cashman, Harrison Smith all fly off the line of scrimmage, get back into coverage. And if you're Brock Purdy, you're sitting there saying, all right, I got pressure in my face. I'm going to have to make a quick read and get this ball out hot. And then you snap the ball, post-snap, all you're seeing is some stock coverage. You're like, how the hell did this happen? What am I supposed to go to? It just speeds up the processing for these quarterbacks, and why it has been so challenging for other teams' offenses just consistently move the ball against the Vikings. And that's why I've loved what they did in free agency and the draft. They brought in Van Ginkel, Dallas Turner, Grenard, Blake Cashman. They are all perfect scheme fits with what Brian Flores likes to do. And also, shout out to Stephon Gilmore. He was fantastic yesterday in the Niners game. He was also a great scheme fit. But Vikings defense right now, they're third in points per game in the entire NFL. Now, yes, one of those games, you're going against Daniel Jones and the horrid New York Giants offense, but they put up 3 touchdowns yesterday. And then you held a electric and star-studded Niners offense to just 17 points. And if you're able to keep these numbers throughout the whole year, you're going to be successful. And the passing yards per game, they're at 25th. That's just because the Vikings have had big leads in these games, and the teams are just going to throw the ball. But they've been able to take away the run early in these games, only giving up 88 rush yards per game, then also third down. Pretty freaking good at 32.1%. And, no matter who the Vikings play this season, like they got the Texans this upcoming week, it's going to be a tough matchup. I think the Texans are one of the better teams in the NFL. But with this defense and with Brian Flores manning this group, the defense will give them a chance to win every single game this season. I said this a month ago. Brian Flores is going to walk up to Sam Darnold and Kevin O'Connell and just say, get us to 21 points every week, and we got a chance. I can't imagine this team getting gashed, even against one of the most star-studded offenses in the league, like the Houston Texans coming in this week. Flores is going to be on it, and a guy that's played his ass off this year, Andrew Van Ginkel. Now, funny enough, Van Ginkel actually should have forced another turnover this past week. On the Deebo Samuel screen that he jumped, they actually said Purdy threw it behind him, so it would have been a fumble, but Deebo was able to recover it. But it was very similar to the pick six he had against the Giants, and these numbers are ridiculous. The fact that I'm putting PBUs, touchdowns, interceptions, TFLs, and sacks for an edge rusher, that just screams how versatile he is, and he's been lighting it up. And overall, this whole front seven has been lighting it up for the Vikings. Like Patrick Jones, our 4th edge rusher. He has 4 sacks this season. The Vikings' first-round pick in Dallas Turner hasn't even really had that much of an impact, and we've been able to have 5 sacks against the Giants, 6 sacks against the Niners. That is all because of Flores and Kwesi addressing the needs that were needed to be filled on defense this year. This front seven's awesome. This team's awesome. This defense is awesome. And I think they're a lock to make the playoffs. But what say you guys? Will the Vikes make the playoffs this season? Give me a Y for yes or an N for no down below in the comment section. Curious to see what you guys have to say. But if you're typing your N's for no's, click off the channel. It's not worth it. Let me know your thoughts. Will the Vikes make the playoffs? And also, if you guys want to give me a follow on Twitter, that's the handle right there, at Pat Sieps. If you guys give me a follow over there, I'll give you guys a follow right back. But thank you guys so much for watching today's show. As always, Skol Vikes.